by introducing my players. First up, I have Tazarath, who is playing.
Cerulean here, and Tazarath, as always, is a lawful evil tiefling.
Excellent. Next up, I have Snake and the Fixer-Upper, both played by.
Ryanaga, and Snake is a sorcerer on the Draconic path, naturally, because he's Yuan-Ti. And Fixer-Upper is a half-orc war priest.
Marvelous. After that, we have Tristan, played by.
Will, and Tristan is a kobold wizard, a kobold divination wizard, far smarter than he pretends to be, but not very wise.
Excellent. And next up, we have Melrath, played by.
Starmy827, and Malrath is a dwarven eldritch.
Knight, Eldritch Knight. And last but far from least, we have Bob, played by.
Not Bob. And Bob is a tiefling warlock.
Marvelous. So, does everybody remember where we left off?
We were chasing
All is
down a
lost.
little gnome.
Yes, both of those are correct. You guys spooked Drogi last time, leading to a tense chase through the city. Fortunately, as a group, you managed to get enough rolls that you were able to keep up with him. He was a particularly fast little bugger, but once he got down into the Whorlstone tunnels, he seems to have been, to feel that he lost you. But nonetheless, he is set off with haste to whatever his destination is in these twisting tunnels. Now, the state of affairs last time was that the party had discovered a fungal patch with two types of shrooms. One has a very tall, thin cap, and the other one has a big, wide cap. And they are as yet unidentified, but the tall, thin caps make you shrink to about the size of an action figure, and the big wide caps restore you to your previous size. So you had followed Droki through a crack in the wall and managed to make it out into these tunnels. And once you made it here, Droki has just gone around the corner, and the party decided to take a quick stop. And everybody but Snake has popped one of the big wide cap mushrooms to return themselves to full size.
Because the picture of the tiny snake, right?
Yes.
Yep. That adorable snake. Anyways, so at this point, Droki was last seen drawing over here. So I assume you guys are ready to pursue him?
As soon as I find the map.
Oh, share.
What was it called?
You don't need to. I've got it up. Oh,
Thanks, sir.
I need to redraw that because nobody saw where I was drawing. Right here.
Oh yeah, that's the
Drawing.
shitty
Enter mask mode.
the pixel map.
Well, you can scroll in and scroll out to change the zoom level.
Yep.
Okay. Are you guys ready to pursue him, or do you have other plans before that?
We should probably pursue. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start.
I'm down.
Trying to reveal map stuff, and then I'll move the party as appropriate. I'll go like that for now. Like that, and then I will go like that, just so that geology is apparent. And actually, each one of these is 1 square equals 25 feet. It's actually probably a lot further than you can see. Oh, but it's dim light. That's right. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to use Fargus as always to sort of designate where the party is located presently. Boop, there's Fargus. So, a dense fungi forest it lays across the floor of this tunnel. Its tallest specimens growing some 5 feet high, and even as you assess the best way to pass through it, a hissing sound starts to rise like uncounted tiny voices whispering in tongues you don't understand. And just as you come around the corner, Droki has disappeared into the thicket. Now, given the fact that the passageway is like 25 or yeah, about 25 feet across, um, and the mushrooms are 5 foot tall, it's actually really difficult to, at your present size, push through them in order to proceed. You might actually have to spend some time like hacking through the fungal thicket.
Or nom a couple of the shrooms to make ourselves tiny again.
That's also a possibility.
Wouldn't Bob understand what they were saying?
Wouldn't we all understand? Because we've got Stool with
Well,
us.
and then we have Stool as well. Yeah.
Well, just because, okay, so Stool is only capable of connecting you to other intelligent minds.
So
Okay. But what about Bob then?
So what feature of Bob are we referring to that should make him
I can read all writing, but I'm not sure I can understand it.
I see.
Yeah, I think only if I was communicating with someone.
Okay.
Oh, no, when it comes to reading, writing, you would have to be like writing down on a piece of paper,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have anything that says understand all
Okay.
speaking.
Well, this is what a wizard is for. While everyone else is figuring out what they're going to do, Tristan is going to cast Comprehend Languages, and if this is a language that can be understood.
Okay. So, let me check one more thing. Tristan, actions, comprehend languages. Okay, so it's going to last an hour, so I need to keep track of that. Okay, so you cast comprehend languages, and ultimately, how do I explain this? I think when you think of the sound, think more like a horror movie, in that there's noises coming from everywhere, and just because you can comprehend all languages doesn't make the sound itself any clearer. But you are certain now that it's not a specific language that's just very noise. If that helps, Matt.
Good to know.
So it's not a language.
It is not a language. Well, actually, let me be more specific. If you find the source of it, and are able to get closer so that you can hear what they're saying better, then Tristan might be able to comprehend it. But at this point, they're whispering, and it is not a matter of comprehension; it's a matter of volume. Plus, there's a lot of whispering going on, so finding one voice out of the entire cacophony is a difficult matter to accomplish.
And what's his butt just disappeared, right?
Yes,
Well, he
into the
disappeared
fungal
down us.
thicket, and he's getting a lead on you guys.
Do we think he did shrink down, or
He was.
Yeah, he maintained his shrunken status when he left the tunnel. You guys were the ones who decided to grow.
Oh, right.
Well, Snake can chase after him.
Well, we all have smallening and embiggening mushrooms.
Right. However, Snake will be essentially a round ahead of you, as it were, as if you were thinking in terms of combat.
Sure.
Okay.
And the bat shall go with Snake, because the bat never got bigger.
Oh, okay, that's good
I
to
forgot
know.
about
How
that.
handy.
What's Bat's name?
Bat.
Bat.
Bat Masterson.
Bat.
Okay, then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab... That's not Snake. Actually, you know what? I'll just grab Bat, because then I have to move two different things. So, Bat dives into the thicket, trying to keep an eye on Droki for you guys. Now, as I remember it, and I might be thinking of the wrong edition, so I'm going to check super quick. I think... Wait, where's Find Familiar? Am I looking? No, I'm looking at the right character sheet. Is it not on your spell list?
No, it's just not one of my prepared spells right now.
Then how are you keeping track of what spells you know?
It's there's 3 different lists.
Oh,
Here, I just turned it onto the standard mode so it shows the non-prepared ones.
How did you do that?
In the bottom left corner, you see mode. It'll say standard combat and preparation.
Oh, I switched to preparation now. Thank you. That is so much better. Thank goodness. Wow. This is actually super good for clerics because then you could essentially pop every cleric list in there, or cleric spell in any spell list, and then just check off the ones that you have prepared. That's super cool. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Give me just a second. Familiar within 100 feet, telepathic, familiar's eyes, hears, benefit during this time you are blind. Okay, so as an action. All right, so here's what I'm gonna say. According to this spell, if you want to see through its eyes and hear through its ears, you have to turn off your own sight and sound to do so, because it specifically says you're blinded and deafened, which makes it difficult for you guys to sort of figure out where Droki is. But as far as I can tell, there's no reason you can't like turn it on for a second and sort of get your bearings and then turn it back off. But it would be difficult for you to sort of follow him with the bat and then follow yourself. Of course, you can also telepathically communicate with this bat, and it can tell you where it's going or where it went. So maybe that's not the issue I think it is. Okay, I'm fine with it. You guys will essentially be able to follow using bats. Right. The bats dive into the fungal forest, and they actually pretty quickly pick out Droki, because although many of these mushrooms are very extremely tall, just like in a forest, there's like an undergrowth, as it were, and there are smaller mushrooms that are trying to make squeeze in between the much larger mushrooms, and the caps of those bob back and forth as he makes his way through. So. Droki is proceeding through, and you guys need to make a decision right now. Are you going to try to force your way through at your current size or shrink?
Does his smaller size reduce his speed?
Interestingly enough, no. But that does not. He seems to be moving particularly quickly, as he has done before.
Well, I wouldn't normally care about hacking my way through that sort of stuff, but that actually would probably take longer than just shrinking down. So I'm going to nom a smallness mushroom and run after him.
Okay. Anybody else?
Tristan's going to follow.
I was going to say, can we track the familiar, or does he have to be a certain amount?
He has to be within 100 feet of it.
Gotcha.
Which on this map is 4 squares.
So I think we should probably all just shrink down and follow, right?
You guys got to tell me.
I agree. Let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll shrink down.
Everybody quickly pops one of the small, tall, thin caps, shrinks back down, and starts diving into the fungi. So at this point, Droki moves ahead. Bat keeps sight on him. And give me a second. I'm going to reveal a bit more passageway. Right about there. There we go. Okay. Once you start diving into the fungi thicket, there are... You guys are actually kind of surprised. There's a number of inedible fungi, including some very bizarre fungi, even for how fungi are normally considered. But there are a number of edible fungi that are available at your current size. Oh, hold on a second. I need one more thing. If I go to Underdark, you see several barrel stalks, some blue caps, fire lichen, which you guys have come across before already. If you want to grab any of it, though, you're going to have to kind of stop to, grab it. So.
We can come back for this.
Okay, just checking.
Should we just sample it all and see what happens? Just stuff it all in our mouths.
I think the blue caps are for a party time, so I really want to grab those.
Okay.
As Alex just starts changing the background color
That's a great idea, Chris. I totally thank you so much for reminding me.
What's going on?
Anyways, Droki
I can taste music.
Droki pops out on the other side of the fungal thicket, and you guys are a bit behind him. Once he gets out, he is covered, as you all are, in a variety of different spores. And you know, at your smaller size, they're almost the size of like softballs. So he kind of takes a moment to sort of like, you know, air out his hat, you know, pull some off of his clothes and kind of, you know, clean himself up for a minute, which actually gives you guys the opportunity to sort of close distance. And I'm going to grab Melrath. You make it to about here while he's still doing that. Now, once he finishes, he zips off down the passageway, and the bat is able to keep easy pace with him. So now I'm going to start revealing some more crap. There. So the passageway curves. Okay. Passageway curves and goes to here. And then I have to reveal more.
And we're just following along, right?
Yes, and he does not especially like he hasn't taken the opportunity to look behind him once. Um, he is very fixated on something. You can actually sort of you know, Tristan is able to hear. He's muttering to himself about something, and you're not sure if he's muttering to himself in another language or he is um, using some sort of a code, but he's very fixated on it, and his fingers are doing a kind of clenching thing, almost as if he is tallying something with his hands in a very erratic fashion. I'm also going to go like this because I want to because you guys are going to pass that anyways. So anyways, Droki continues. He comes all the way up to here. And then at this point, huh, I'm checking something. Right. At this point, Droki stops. He takes a look into the space beyond, and then he vanishes around a corner. So I'll grab Fargus. He vanishes around a corner, and then he comes over to a crack in the wall, right about there, and enters it. Now, are you guys gonna poke your head around the corner and see what he was looking at, or are you gonna just dive in after him?
I mean, sure.
Okay. The glow of
Well, I would say send the bat really briefly, but
As long as someone is willing to carry Tristan and he doesn't weigh all that much, we can multitask.
okay.
that's a good idea.
Well, between Melrath and Tazarath, I think you guys can handle it. Because
I mean, technically, Ron's with it.
yes, that's also true.
Yeah, make him do it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyways, the bat takes a quick dart around the cave entrance. Or sorry, yeah, cave entrance. The glow of Fair's rest shifts across this chamber as if pushed by an unseen wind. It flows toward and around a large mesa and continues to spiral upward, but the ceiling of the cavern is too dark and high to see. You hear murmurs and whispers coming from atop the mesa, which grow louder as you approach. Its stacked levels resemble steps in a staircase, but a ramp running from top to bottom provides an easy way up to the top. And the west wall has a very noticeable crack leading to a narrow tunnel, which is the crack that Droki has dived into.
Are there other beings there?
No, you see no creatures in this space. However, I suppose it's possible that there might be a couple of them sort of atop this mesa. You don't have a perfect angle to it, but if they were greater than, I don't know, estimate 6 feet tall, you would probably be able to see like their hair or their horns if they were, you know, horned creatures. So as far as you know, there's nothing up there. But shorter creatures such as dwarves might not be visible from here.
Or Darrow.
Yes.
How high is it?
I'm actually having a little bit of difficulty getting a sense of that myself. My understanding here is I'm going to use the pen for a second. Grab this. This little thing here is a stairwell. Okay. Um, my understanding is that this picture is actually kind of misleading in that they're saying that if you were to attempt to climb using the stairs are not concentric circles, but bands of a spiral rising from the cavern floor to the mesa's top. So that makes me think that it is more conically shaped and that the mesa is really just a flat space at the top, like a mountain point chopped off the top of a mountain. Does that make sense? That's how I'm envisioning it.
I'm assuming though it's not within the 100 feet where I could just have Bat take a.
No, you absolutely can. The issue is that it is difficult. Okay, let me back up for just a second. Does everybody remember what Thayer's Rest is?
No.
Okay, that's important. Give me just a second. I want to grab the appropriate.
Have we come across it before?
Yeah, I actually mentioned it to start this particular adventure, but that's okay. That was last week, and I have a pretty easy reference. So I just need to pull. Here it is. You guys already rolled a successful Arcana roll on this, so that's why you're getting the info for free. Fair, F-A, oh, actually, I'm going to type it so you guys can see what a pain in the
Yeah.
ass this thing is to pronounce.
I have a feeling once you get into it, I'll remember, but I don't right now.
Oh, yeah. It is an unusual...
Fair's Rest.
Yeah, whatever. It is an unusual magical energy that the Drow call Fair's Rest, which pervades much of the Underdark. The origin of this mysterious arcane power is unknown. Some of the Drow legends claim that it is an ancient elvish magic dating back to the time when dark elves were first exiled from the world above. The Drow and other Underdark creatures use the properties of areas suffused with Faer's Rest to protect their settlements. And areas suffused with Faer's Rest can range in size from a few dozen feet across to several miles in diameter and feature the following effects. I'm going to try to summarize these, but you can always ask me about them later if you need to know specifically. Any area suffused with Faer's Rest is always filled with dim light. This entire cavern has bits of Faer's Rest floating around it, so everywhere is dim light. No dark vision is needed. A creature in an area suffused with Faer's Rest has advantage on saving throws against divination spells. If the divination spell doesn't allow a saving throw, the caster must succeed on a DC 15 con saving throw to cast the spell. Failing means the spell is wasted and has no effect. Any creature attempting to teleport into, within, or out of a Faer's Rest suffused area must succeed on a similar Constitution saving throw, and if they fail, they take damage and the teleportation fails. And even if it succeeds, you can suffer a mishap. And lastly, areas suffused with Faer's Rest become oh no, that's related to the teleportation. That's odd. Sorry. Right. So that is kind of the effect that you is going on here. And Underdark races tend to build their cities on top or underneath this sort of thing, and for whatever reason, it happens to suffuse these tunnels as well as the city above.
So it's like a magic fog kind of thing?
It is, but it looks little. Think of it a little bit more like Northern Lights in terms of appearance. The light itself is a reddish orange, I believe.
Okay.
So it's sort of like in that way with the dim light, it's kind of like torchlight in some ways. But anyways, so sorry. What the point that I was trying to make though was when it comes to Bat, if you send him up, the only way for him to get a look at the what's on top of the mesa is to come up over the lip of the mesa. If there's somebody sitting right up there at the top, they'll instantly see him.
Okay, I'm okay with that because they'll see a bat.
Okay. Um, very good. The bat flies up. I don't know how tall it is. Are you using his senses while you do so?
Probably.
I need a yes or a no.
I mean, that. What do you mean? Like, is he using echolocation?
Oh no, what I mean is, are you blinding and deafening yourself so that you can see and hear through the bat?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Um, make me a perception check. And hold on a second. Let me think about this for a moment. Because I know we need to use the bat stats, and that can be a slightly difficult thing to do. So I'm trying to figure out how to apply that. NPCs, bat. Oops. There we go. Okay, so a bat. Oh, okay, we're gonna go with the first number because that's the one you were supposed to use. So you get 16. Perfect. That tells me everything I needed to know.
It's a pretty
Okay,
damn smart bat.
you got a good roll. Also, familiars are magically enhanced creatures. They're yeah. Anyways, okay, so the bat flies all the way up to the top of the mesa, and up at the top there actually isn't anyone, but that's when the mystery is somewhat solved. Um, as he gets to the top of the mesa, he's starting to be able to recognize some of the strange and disparate sounds. He's able to hear a rhythmic clank and roar from Gracklestug's forges, and he can hear some of the mad screaming of Darrow. He can hear some hints and snatches of conversations. It's almost as if there's a speaker up at the top of this mesa, and the microphone is magically being moved around Gracklestug. And Asbad is up there, sort of observing this phenomenon. He suddenly hears the low rumble of a creature speaking in this language. I gotta type. Uh, there. Will.
And so it's an unknown language?
Oh god, we're leaving, we're leaving. And we're going, and we're going, and we're going, and I'm going to use my action to dismiss Bat and resummon him next to me away from that sound. We're leaving.
Hold on one second. Just to complete
I can
this.
read it too, so I agree with his out
Just
of character. It's a good move.
just to complete this, I wanna draw a little more of an actual like visual picture for you. At the top of this mesa, all the way at the top, the Fair's Rest sort of accumulates, and it is a conical shaped roof. However, that conical shaped roof doesn't go anywhere. It's just a closed cavern. There's no light shining in from somewhere else. There's no sign that it actually connects to anything else. The only thing that's odd about it is how the Fair's Rest spirals upward towards the top. So there is no sign that the threat that you think is could potentially be aware of you is in fact aware of you. It actually seems to be a place where you can kind of eavesdrop.
Ooh. Ooh.
Do you still want to dismiss Bat?
No, so I'm going to explain to the rest of the party in my deaf and blind state that um, there seems to be a something that speaks Draconic up there.
Oh,
At least,
oh. Let me just tell you right now, being a kobold and also being able to confer with Snake, that doesn't just speak Draconic. That is a dragon. There is no question about it. In fact, why don't you guys roll me a collective wisdom check? And I'll give you a hint because you might have been aware of this if we'd been able to play continuously.
So we found a dragon?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yay! I always wanted to
Oh,
find a dragon.
Tazarath. Oh, Tazarath. Upon hearing this news and considering it for a moment, he says, "Well, a dragon here? That must be Thembershoud." Now, I'm going to pop over to the chat real quick. Did I still have it pinned? Yeah, there is the Derigar Laws and Society Primer. If you guys open that back up for a moment and scroll down to page 2, the very last
What was that?
two. Oh, go to Discord, click on the pinned messages. There's a pinned message that says Derigar Laws and Society a Primer. Have you seen this before?
Nope.
Oh, I am very sorry that I failed to mention it to you. Um, it's not something that's vital reading, but I did write it for you guys because I thought it would be helpful. Um, and you guys have a lot of this information because I forget who supplied it. Somebody in the party had the information. I know that I checked. Anyways, I included noteworthy people or factions because I thought it would be a lot to keep track of yourself. But the last two groups and factions on this list are relevant to this particular revelation.
So can we like go say hi and try to like ride her and
Now,
like Harry Potter will burst out of Underdark and she saves the day?
I know, right?
I can show you the world.
Eric, no more playing fighters. You have to play a bard in the next game if you're going to be trying to romance dragons. This is highly
Okay.
inappropriate. Anyways, just for people that are watching, Thumbershoud the Wormsmith is an adult red dragon that keeps the city's smelters and forges ablaze. There's a missing H.
Ogres.
And actually, it says Orges. Orges without the F. Yeah.
I thought it was ogres.
He receives treasure, free meals, and constant pampering from the keepers of the flame in exchange. Like the stone dragon, she is extended every courtesy, and many laws simply do not apply to her. Derigar citizenry snacking, for example. And the Keepers of the Flame are an order of psionic clerics that attend to Sembershoud's needs. They are in frequent contact with Deep King, but never seem to show up or heed the calls from the Council of Lairds. I'll skip over who they are. There are rumors that the Deep King makes use of this relationship to keep the Lairds in line, and troublemakers find their forges dying down to cinders, which of course, is not good for your livelihood. So, anyways, yes, Thembershoud is an extremely important and dangerous member of this city. So yes.
So do you think
So she's not up there. We're just hearing echoes of her voice.
Yes, and in fact, you're also hearing voices prior to this. I have it listed here. Give me a second. You heard the following noises, and it's like I said, it sounds like someone has a microphone and they're just shifting it through different places in the city. The first thing you heard was the rhythmic clank and roar of Grackle Stooge's forges. Then you heard the mad screaming of Darrow, presumably from one of their slums. And then there were hints and snatches of a conversation between Derigar. And the most latest thing that you've heard is Thembershoud grousing about his meal.
so it's like someone is wearing a magical microphone?
And carrying it around with them. It's like Billy on the
Yeah.
streets.
Well, I say we should just follow what's his butt for now. If there's no dragon up there to go give the filter of love to.
Okay, cool. Hold on a second. Check mark if you want to follow Droki. X mark if you want to stay in and eavesdrop.
We can come back and eavesdrop, I guess, but
Okay.
Oh my god, hold on a second. Okay, Google, stop.
Okay, Google, stop.
Did someone give his Google the filter of love?
Quite possibly.
I keep forgetting we have that.
Players, and while I was talking to my players, Google Music decided to play N-word music.
Oh, wow.
It must have picked up something I said to them and misinterpreted that as a rap song title. So that's gonna get my YouTube video content flagged for sure.
Well, we couldn't hear the music, so you're fine.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
We can barely hear your microphone in
Well,
the video.
yeah. Wait a minute. Why are you watching the video, Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
I went back and rewatched the intro to make sure that it was being done.
Also, I've been trying to fix that. I have my microphone volume as high as I can get it, and I've also been trying to adjust that through OBS. And my microphone is constantly showing as in the yellow. I would presume if it was in the red that it would be so loud that it would be blaring. So it's as loud as it can get. Anyways,
Okay.
now that the N word isn't being shouted, let's get back to it. So. Right. We've got our clear vote, so let me just go like this. All right. And
We should put a speaker next to his Google so we can.
listen to my rap
Sabotage.
music that I don't own. Yeah, that was fascinating. That was so
Is he
fucking
going
cool.
in a circle?
Okay.
What the fuck?
So I just want to make sure that there's nothing else. Okay. 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 Okay, that's weird. So, anyways, Droki goes through this particular crack in the wall once again, pops out into this larger tunnel, and he's Fargus. Once he comes out into this particular tunnel, which way is he supposed to be going from here?
It looked like he went in a big circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where my patient says I just want to fireball him.
So he comes out to this point, and then he rushes down this passageway, and yeah, it looks like that's.
If I am big in myself, will I be able to catch him more easily with a larger strike?
Well, he's on like you also have to consider the fact that like it's hard to get your hands around him being that small. It's like trying to catch a rat. So not really. I mean, you're also not the most dexterous person on the planet either.
Well, yeah, I mean it is.
Ouch.
Hazrath. He is a ball of frustration and failure.
Yeah. I mean, Tristan might have an easier time catching him, but you know. Anyways,
Was that a hint?
well, I was just saying, I'm looking at dexterities. Bob has a 15, Cleric has a 14, Melrath has a 13, Snake has a 14, Tazrath has a 10, and Tristan has an 18. So that's not a hint, that's a statement of fact. Anyways,
I do have hold person if we get tired.
I mean, if you want to use hold person, now's the time to do it.
Why?
Please.
What's coming up?
Please do.
He has advantage against the save, or on the save, right?
He does.
He does because he has magic resistance.
Right.
And I'm not in range yet either.
Okay. Got it. So at this point,
I think aren't we like on his tail though?
you guys are right about here. So 25, 50, 50, or sorry, 75, 100, 125 feet away.
Yeah, the spell says 60 feet.
Well, I mean, the point is, he's starting to fiddle with this door, which is funny because he's like way smaller than the door. So, anyways, the point is that he's stopped for a moment and is trying to deal with it. So if you try to rush ahead and hold person him, this is probably the best chance you're going to get, unless because this whole time I've been having you stay back so that he doesn't necessarily see or hear you.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason you're so far behind him.
What do you guys think? Should I try it?
Oh, here, hold on a second. I'll settle this real fast.
Oh, jeez.
You guys know what to do.
Nerd.
Go for it, and if you fail, I'll do it too.
Democratic process.
Okay. So I do my spell slot.
So hold on a second. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab... Fixer is missing. Where did he go?
There's a bunch of people back at the start.
Yeah, Fixer and Snake. I'm going to grab the both of them real quick. Can I go like this and then... Oops, that just revealed map. Okay.
If you want to know, you can grab both of them at the same time. Yes.
I think I have to hold like shift. Go like
That sounds kinky.
Nope. It's unimportant. I want to have everybody right about here. Actually, Snake doesn't need to be that close because he's gonna have a whole person. Cool. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Let me see if I can grab his stat block. Let me put this down here. Close this. Pull this up. Library. Out of the Abyss. NPCs.
It says duration up to 1 minute. That's not very long.
That's a very excellent point. I hadn't considered that. No, that will be an actual minute. So before you cast it, maybe you guys should have a plan of what you're going to do while he's held for a minute.
Can we feed him the embiggen mushroom?
You could do that. I'm not sure how it solves your problem.
I don't know.
Does anybody have any thoughts? Are you just going to
I'm
We can at least capture him and figure out what's going on here. Is we also have someone with sense thoughts, correct? So maybe they can think about what's telling.
Yeah.
They can figure out what he's thinking about on the door.
Yeah, you can absolutely interrogate him. However, I just want to, again, reiterate that he is, for some reason, an extremely fast individual. So if you don't have some plan to secure him in place beyond hold person, which just doesn't last long enough.
Snake will try a suggestion on him if we can get the whole person. And
Also, we've got hemp and rope.
Okay. So we're gonna try suggestion and hold him down. So let me check Snake real quick.
Should we give him the filter of love?
Oh wow, it lasts for 8 hours. Holy crap! Yeah.
So what do you think would be the best worded suggestion I could give him? Besides, just say stop moving, stop running.
Let's see here. Make it sound like
Fucking hold still.
Well, actually, I don't think you have to go too terribly far out of your way. Hold on a second.
We just want to talk to you.
Okay. So according to this, you suggest a course of activity has to be limited to no more than 2 sentences, and the suggestion must be worded in a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say whatever you want, so long as you aren't like, give us all of your equipment or something like that.
Right.
And
please stop running. Please, we just want to talk to you. Something like that.
Yeah, that sounds fine. We'll go with that.
Do you want to do that instead of hold person then?
Well, I guess you can hit them and then it'll work just the same and save your spell slot. So yeah, let's try that first.
Okay.
There's no save.
Oh.
Wait, target must make a wisdom save.
Wisdom, yeah.
Okay, so
it'd be pretty broken if there wasn't a save.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, that's true.
So here's what I'm gonna do. It's Snake that has this. So let me find Snake in the list. Bob Spiderbait. Here he is. Target.
That's not a bad.
Go ahead and cast it. It should result in the dice being rolled.
Okay.
I will ask one other question whilst this is going on. The little both the door and the passageway to the... Is that stone or is that dirt?
Stone. Oh. Droki failed, like, phenomenally.
Yay!
He dropped a 2? Wow. Okay.
He's tired.
Apparently.
Poor little dude tuckered himself out.
Oh, that's your racial spell?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So, okay. So at this point, I'm gonna move Snake forward. Snake gets within range. He repairs it. Droki, stop. We want to talk. Droki stops fiddling with the door and turns around. And he just looks at you, and then he gives you this strange smile where only the left corner of his lip goes up into a smile and the other side stays perfectly level.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's not a smile.
And then his head slowly cocks to the right. What would you like to talk about, friends?
Oh,
Nightmare
now
fuel.
we should fireball the shit out of it.
Uh,
Snake, this
I'm-
one's all you, bud.
So we want to talk about how about we can start with something simple. What's behind that door?
Why, this door? This door right here?
Oh my god.
This should be the Grey Ghost Garden. I have to drop off something that I picked up for them.
What was that word? What garden?
Grey Ghost Garden.
Gray Ghost. Is that in our primer? Probably not.
No.
It's a good point.
in that case, ghost. That would be religion. Yeah.
This is not related to any undead creature that you know of. You understand what ghosts are, but they don't normally have like a color associated with them.
Can I do history?
You can try, but it will be a bit more difficult as you are not. Wait, are you from the Underdark?
Probably.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes.
I mean, he's a kobold. He's not going to have gone outside very much. Like big world versus the nice, much smaller.
Indeed.
It does say something about gray dwarves in the primer.
Does it? Okay, cool. Let me check.
In the City of Blades.
Where?
In the primer.
What's
Third paragraph. I don't know who the gray dwarves are, but maybe they're the ghosts of the dwarves.
Oh, gray dwarves are the Derogar.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, that's not related.
So is he kind of acting all creepy and because of the spell, or?
I mean, I think we can safely assume he's acting creepy because the little fuck's creepy.
Well,
said.
He's always been like ADD and like spastic before, but now he's like calm and like cocky.
I mean,
Is that the spell, or is that just him?
how would you tell?
That's
Yeah, it's not like I'm compulsion. There's not like a compulsion working on his mind here. So maybe insight would be something like. Yeah, the question is he lying now or?
Oh! If you want to figure out whether he's lying, there's an insight roll.
Okay. And that can be anyone or just Snake?
He's speaking in Undercommon, and I've been
Okay.
pretty loose about languages, so anybody can roll it.
Okay, good. All right, that's a 19. Hopefully that's enough.
Well, in the fixer-upper's expert opinion, you guys are kind of under the assumption that he's generally being fairly cooperative. He seems to be answering your questions. He isn't really taking much in the way of time to say the questions. To think about the questions. He's just speaking in a very languid pace, is how I'd put that. So he seems to be telling the truth as far as you can tell.
So let's go back again to why we're pursuing him. It's so we can get like a free pass off of this out of the city, right?
Yeah, there are concerns that he is up to something particularly malicious, and no one's been able to figure out what he's stealing or why.
Mm-hmm. And so, does she want? Sorry. Does she
Sure.
want us to bring him back dead or alive, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, dead or alive. Either one is fine.
Okay.
She did want us to find out, more if possible, but I don't think that
Yeah.
was contingent on that.
Yeah.
Well, let's ask him what he meant when he was screaming all is lost.
Oh, when was he doing that? I forgot.
When we tried to talk to him and he just bolted from.
Oh yeah, in the
Yeah.
market.
Oh, all is lost. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Phrase it.
What did you mean when you shouted all is and started running?
Well, I assumed that I'd finally been found out, and the best thing to do was make off with what I was able to acquire and get paid.
Found out by who?
Well,
Well,
I
us.
didn't want to stop and find out. I mean, if I was found out, it would probably just be best to run.
Who's paying him?
Who are you working for?
Who does number 2 work? Ask him who hired him. Who hired you, you little shit?
Give me a second.
Without the little shit.
Sorry.
There's a name I'm looking for. I know right where it is. Just scrolling through. Let's see here. Do.
We still have that fishbone net, don't we?
Yeah.
Let's make sure to keep him wrapped up in that for the moment.
If you approach him
Why?
with that, he's probably not going
Yeah.
to be suggested anymore.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, true.
He's not doing anything wrong right now.
Chris walks forward with his hands outstretched, net between them, sharp bones from like fish pointing at him. I just want to give you a hug, buddy. I don't know why you get so upset. Nothing wrong with giving a buddy a hug. Anyways. Oh, why Narak? Narak has been paying me, and if I can just get him these last bits, oh, I will really make out with the bling.
Make out with him?
Make out
Or-
with the
with the
bling.
bling.
Or choice of words.
Yes. Yeah, only Sareth needs to worry about making out with people.
So what have you been bringing him? What other things have you been bringing him?
Oh, toenails and skin flakes and.
Fixer Upper's prepping that fireball right now.
Calluses.
Ugh, God.
I have to keep it all so orderly. It kind of is enough to just drive you crazy.
And what does Narek? Is that who it was?
Narak.
What does Narak want with all this stuff? What is he planning?
Well, apparently he wants to pay me. That's
You
about
don't-
all I know.
You do know who Narak is. Can you tell us?
Well, I just did. Narak is Narak. I was going to just exchange a couple of goods over here through this nice little door without anyone being the wiser. And then
What kind of creature is Narak?
Oh, well, Narak was, I suppose, a member of the Council of Savants. Daragar.
So he's dead.
That's the ghost thing. Yeah.
No, he's
Shut
still
up.
alive. If he's dead, I'm not going to get paid.
Hmm.
Narak.
Besides,
So the council-
Narak's not back here. He points at the door. He's off further into the tunnels.
So the Council of Savants are behind that door?
No, the gray ghosts are behind that door.
Okay.
Why were you trying to open that door?
Well, I was trying to see if I could just sort of slip between the crack in the door without opening it, but I need to pop in there for a moment and grab a little ingredient. They won't mind as long as they don't know that I took it.
Hmm.
I'm still creeped out by that voice you do, Alex.
Kyle, snuggle up with me in here for a little bit.
Oh, drink this filter of love.
Kyle, we can make such sweet love together.
Okay, that came out as Cartman.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, my accents tend to float around quite a bit.
So, if you were to go from here to get to Narak, how would you do it?
Well, I kind of need these ingredients, but we could just go there afterwards if you like.
Could we suggest to him to lead us there?
Well, I don't see why
As-
not. You've been perfectly kind so far. Do
No,
y'all
I mean
just...
as part of the spell. Is that like? Can
I
you
don't
change
under...
the suggestion?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. According to what
Okay.
I read, yeah, you can...
Oh,
because
okay. Because it
the
seemed pretty
effect...
limited in the description.
I got the opposite out of it. Let me pull it back up again and make sure, because I seem to remember the last part of the spell being the part that was kind of
You suggest a course of activity,
continued
and
action
then
can
you
be
can keep
completed.
suggesting.
The spell ends when the subject finishes what it was asked to do. So I misread. You can
Okay.
also specify conditions that will trigger during the... So basically, once this conversation is over,
We'll have to cast it
this...
again.
Well, he can't because it's a racial spell. He only
Yeah.
gets one use
Damn
a day. So... But see, the interesting thing about this is if you look up the friend spell, which is, I think, a
Mhm.
cantrip, when you cast it, the person acts like they're your friend, a good acquaintance. And they would do anything that a good acquaintance would do for you. Not a best friend, but just a friend. And once the spell ends, the target is aware that you cast friends on it and usually is pissed off.
Mhm.
In this particular instance, it doesn't suggest anything in here that means that he is particularly aware. Like, he might be confused as to, like, well, why did I
Mhm.
stop and talk to them? I don't trust them afterwards. But I think beyond that, like, there isn't any obvious effect. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's not aware, and he may not be pissed about it. But yeah.
Well, we could just let him walk in there to get the ingredients from the ghosts or whatever, and then bar the door on him.
Then we're never going to find where Narak went. And also, don't we have to bring him back dead or...
Dead
Actually,
or
wait, who said that?
dead or alive,
Did
and
Snake... Oh,
you need to bring back some sort of proof of what it is that he's been up to.
Well, I didn't say that we would bar the door forever, just that, long enough for the ghosts to get him.
Okay.
I mean, Chris, there's just one small thing that I would like to point out to you, which is that ghosts, as a general principle, are not bothered by doors. And if your
But Droki is.
if your plan is, oh, let's bar this door so that he can't get through, well, once the ghosts finish him off, they might poke their head through the door, and then you might be in for it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, who is the I forget her race. She's either a Darrow or
Daragar.
Daragar.
Erda? The
Yeah,
captain of the
the one
guard?
who sent us. Yeah. She didn't really say we had to find out why he's collecting these ingredients, did she?
yes, she did.
Yes,
We
quite
need proof.
specifically.
Oh,
And proof is incidentally not constituted by you come back and tell her what you found. She means
Yeah.
like physical proof.
Physical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
so she wants the toenails. Great.
Hey, that's her problem, frankly. I mean, she didn't know what she was asking for when she started this whole thing, so.
Yeah. Is there any role we could do to get more info on Iraq, or not really?
Well, you know that he is or was a member of the Council of Savants. You guys have the primer up, so you know about them.
Yeah, we don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, ideally not.
I I kind of feel like we're in between Narak and a hard place.
That was good. I'll give you that one.
Okay, so I mean, you still have him. You have him technically for 8 hours, and you've worded this in such a way that it's very open-ended.
Mhm.
So you kind of have him until.
How much is Narak paying you, and in what?
Oh, well, let me see. I find it difficult to keep track of large numbers like that. I suppose I'm actually not entirely certain how much it is. And he starts counting. But every time he starts counting, he has to stop. And then when he starts over again, the numbers start changing. You would estimate, based on the wild calculations, assuming that any of those numbers are correct, that he's been paid somewhere in the neighborhood of, oh, I don't know, about 4,000 gold coins for whatever this service was.
And that's a lot in gold coins, right?
That was more than you guys came here with, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Did we already ask him what he wants with this stuff?
Um,
Well, I mean,
he doesn't
he
really
wants
have a
gold, but
sense.
Oh,
Like,
right. He doesn't
yeah,
know.
he doesn't really care.
True. I mean, we could ask him to take us to Narak, but not sure if that's a good idea.
Well, yeah, but it's a suggestion. Like the suggestion specifically was stop and talk to us. So his lack of cooperation, perhaps, might be best attributed to the fact that, like, you only asked him to stop and talk, not show you where the thing goes. You only get one suggested out of him, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, but we could ask.
Yeah, the one suggestion problem is a problem.
Mhm. It's still been pretty damn helpful so far. I had to
Yeah.
fucking crack open the storyline for this whole thing.
I mean, we could just fireball him and, kill him and then bring him back.
That's
Again,
bringing something
proof.
back.
Oh,
Dead
yeah.
things are not proof unless you can speak to the dead.
Yeah.
Actually, you can speak to the dead.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna just also point out that bringing a dead drogi to them and then having them speak to a dead insane thing and be like, oh yes, this X whatever told me to do blah blah and blah is not exactly the physical proof we're talking.
Well, and also the
Yeah.
ability to speak to the dead is related to a very specific magical item that you guys have, so it may not necessarily be a capability that Airday, captain of the city guard, has.
And plus, if she doesn't find it satisfactory enough, then she could just not give us the boats.
Yeah,
To
so it
pass the
seems
towel.
like you guys are either going to have to get him to show you where he's gonna go, or keep a close tail on him, or something, because you don't think that you have enough as it currently stands.
it's probably for the best
Now,
if he winds up returning
there's
the thing from the ghost room.
probably there's one last thing that I want to do just to make certain that I don't prematurely terminate this. When you guys are done, say we're done talking to him, and then I'll move on with the rest of the story. Like, I'm giving you some time to think, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Oh, I
I
think you
mean,
guys are doing just fine.
We could just let him go and then follow him, but then he'd know. I'm assuming.
Yes, and he's capable of moving quite quickly, but you were able to keep up with him last time.
True.
Could we ask him if he has any more tricks up his sleeve?
Yes, in fact. Well, I suppose it depends on what exactly you mean by tricks, but, well, I have my lovely little boots here. Those are quite handy. They were worth every last gold I didn't pay for them because I stole them.
Should we tell him? Should we tell him why we're following him and just?
No, I think
lay it out?
we want those boots. But also, Roki, quick question. If you were to go to Narak, how would you do it? Like, just how would you navigate?
How would I navigate to Narak? Well, let me think about that for a moment. Well, given our relative sizes, I suppose that the fastest route is probably the most dangerous one. No, can't go that way. Well, do you see this tunnel that the DM has placed Fargus at for sake of using a marker? If you happen to go up that tunnel, the first passageway on the right would sort of lead you in there, but that might not be the way that you want to go. But it'll certainly take you to Narak. Just saying.
What's a different route that's safer?
No, that is the safest route. You could also go this way, but you might have to find your way around some guards, I suppose.
Can we ask him what was in that that cone that we passed?
Sure, if you want.
What would you call it? A cavern?
Mesa.
Listening Mesa.
Oh, that's how I got into this whole mess in the first place. I was able to make my way up there, and I happened to overhear Narak, and he was trying to figure out how he was going to get a hold of all these different ingredients, and I just knew if I could get a hold of that person, I could make myself a pretty penny, and oh, did it work out in my favor.
How does that Mesa provide listening?
Oh, I have no idea about that. It seems to be some natural property of the cave. The conical shape of it must act as some sort of speaker, um, reversing the normally divination suppressing capabilities of the Fair's Rest into divination boosting.
Jokey, who do you work for?
Narak? Was I unclear about that?
I don't know if that's Jokey.
This is going to go around in circles for 8.
Yeah, there's only so much that you can get out of him using this particular method. So, if you guys are, you've been very clever about your questions. If you want to keep asking him questions, by all means, but there is a point where he's going to start looping. You've exhausted the dialogue tree.
I'm actually going to whisper to the rest of the group. I have the ability to change my appearance, and he's about the same size as me. So if we wanted to talk to Narak as him, and also have him unconscious, that is also a possibility. Kafka. Also, his boots sound awesome.
Why do you want his boots?
You didn't say
Because
an
they're
awful lot about them.
Because
Hey,
they're speedy boots.
What do your boots do?
What, you mean these boots of speed that I picked up?
Interesting.
Why are you all looking at me like that?
Because they're very pretty boots. And we think you made a very good choice.
Oh, well,
Are
thank
we-
you, friend.
Is there a spell to knock him unconscious or something?
No,
It's called Ron's Fist. Big Face.
Let's make his face orky.
Get Bupito up in here and make some jokes.
Whoa.
Oh, Bupito is dead, very sadly. Remember
I
how
know.
upset you guys were about that?
Yeah.
Just because he made quality furniture.
At low prices
Mm-hmm.
of the lives of various Underdark denizens. Anyways.
So we're going to turn into inner city thugs at this point, beating people up for their shoes.
No, this is just me being a greedy little kobold. Are we going to follow him? Are we gonna, what are we gonna do? We can obviously either follow him, we can go to Narc ourselves, or...
Yeah, actually, here's what I would like to say in order to help us move this along. Will has presented two very good options. If anyone else would like to make a counter suggestion or add to the plan, please do so. But I think based on what he was saying, it seems to me like aside from anything you might come up with, there are just two options. Either you can continue attempting to follow Droki and hope that you can keep pace, or you can attempt to go the way that he suggested and allow Will to try to disguise himself as Droki and hope that you can, you know, keep track of Narak and where you're going and all that. So yeah.
We can explore this whole place at our leisure if we don't have to try and keep up with Droki constantly. So
Okay.
I'm in favor of knocking the little bugger out and stealing his footwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that.
Yeah, I'm really growing to hate him. So yes.
Because then we could also go to Narek,
Narrak.
Narak,
Yes.
and not have to worry about the second Droki popping up while we're talking to him.
While the conversation's going on, I'm going to use
A
mold
filter of
earth
love?
to make the
Oh.
mold earth. Damn it! Anyway, the passage north of us is now difficult terrain.
Oh, you mean that little bit that extends up into the shadows?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No problem. Okay, so it's difficult terrain. So you guys are going to knock him out, take his booties, and leave him tied up somewhere?
Oh, I'm sure we can. He'll fit in someone's bag.
Okay.
Make Ron carry him.
In the net.
Okay, so then I take it that the conversation is over?
Sure.
I'm
Cool.
just going to say yes.
There you go.
Okay. Now that the conversation is over, Droki shakes his head and his eyes become filled with terror, like when a squirrel didn't realize you were there and you're suddenly way too close to it for its comfort, and he starts scrabbling at the door.
See, now he's not so fucking creepy.
Well, now he's like a
Attack.
squirrel. Cool. Yeah, so you guys are clearly going for subdual damage, so just attack as normal and hope that this all works out in your favor.
Oh yeah, so we just attack him until he's out of hit points, and this will be unconscious.
Then don't
instead?
kill him.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I forgot how that worked.
I'm just going to do a quick little adjustment here. Go like this. I'm rolling for his initiative.
Should I roll for my initiative? I never have.
Yeah, all of you need to roll for your initiatives. I have a feeling that you
Yeah.
guys are going to win, but
Why do you get that feeling?
no reason that you're aware
I
of.
always forget where initiative is. Is it in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy.
Great rolls.
Just have it in my quick spell.
No, that's intelligence. Damn it.
No, INIT. That's initiative. It's in the center of the
Oh, okay.
cover page.
I got mixed up.
Yes, apparently. I mean, your intelligence check is lovely, but not relevant here.
It's obviously not much.
So, anyways, everybody's rolled for their initiative, right? That's 6, isn't it? Oh, and then Bob 7, right? So, right, first person to act is Tristan.
Might as well start with a bang. Scorching Ray says hello.
Okay.
Ah.
Target him individually with each ray. If you get a crit, immediately roll damage. Otherwise, just keep rolling hits until you get everything.
How do I do this? This is the first time I've used it.
Okay, so there's two things that you can do. Either, actually, I think the simplest thing for me to do, I'm just going to target him. Go to the spell page and click cast, or click and drag cast and drop it into the chat space.
Where?
If you go to Scorching Ray, click the magnifying glass right next to the
I see
dragon
now.
head. Yeah. Okay. So that's a miss. That's a critical hit. Immediately roll damage. Okay. And roll to hit one more time. That is also a miss. Okay, so
Actually, 1 second. I'm going to use my portent. One of my portents for today does a 17 plus 7, 24 hit.
24. Pretty sure. Yes. Wow. Okay. Droki is now bloodied in the initial volley. Well done. Actually, let me drag that ahead to here. Bob, you are up.
What am I doing? I
Uh,
guess I'll attack him. Crap! Where'd he go? Did you do your targeting for me?
oh, no, I hadn't. But there, you're ready. You hit. 9 damage. Wow. Okay, so you also managed to lance out with your Eldritch Blast. That takes him down a fair bit as well. You've done almost as much damage to him as just one of Will's attacks. So that means next up is Melrath. It was way the fuck back there. Remember, each square is 25 feet. So you got a lot of ways to go in order to be in range.
I thought we were.
You just moved 75 feet. Can you move 75 feet?
I thought we were all around him when we were
Well, all
conversing.
the spellcasters.
Were we shouting at him from 200 feet away? Really?
Okay, fair enough, Chris. Jesus.
So I was hoping I'd be close enough to poke him, but
Here you go. You still have to make it 50 feet to him.
yeah, now I can do 25. So I'll just shoot him with my.
Okay, go for it.
With your what?
Crossbow.
Misbow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Savage.
Oh my god, it's Ron's turn. Ron was actually back here. He wasn't really participating in the conversation. Holy shit, what's happening? He moves up to about here.
Tiny man pissed me off.
Yeah, I know, right? The spider bite also moves up to next to Ron. That is actually a good question. What is the range on this? Oh, 80. Yeah, no, he's actually outside of the range of Spiderbait's short bow. Vargas Rumblefoot. Yeah. Is this really who we are? We're going to be attacking people for their boots.
Shut up and attack, Vargas.
Stareth says something along the lines of, well, his beard is pretty scraggly, but the rest of him ain't bad. And then,
Whoa.
Droki. Oh my god, Droki got a turn. Let me see here.
And then he rounds.
He makes it up to here.
Does he go by Tazarath, who's right by the entrance?
Remember, each of these squares are 25 feet, so...
Also, didn't someone make it rough terrain?
I accounted for the rough terrain, but thank you for reminding me.
Jesus.
Yeah. Boots
You really want those boots, don't you?
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
look what they're capable of doing.
he has, and just so that everyone is perfectly clear, he has done what is called a double move. So on your turn, you have a standard action, a movement action, and a bonus action. You also have reactions, but that doesn't generally come into play on your turn. So you can choose to take your move, and then for your standard action, you can also choose to take your move again and replace your normal standard action, which you'd use to attack or cast a spell, so that you can essentially double move. And so that, coupled with those boots of speed, has allowed him to move a tremendous different distance, and is aside from I think Snake, now out of line of sight for the rest of you. So, Snake, what will you do about this?
Gil. Who's the one with the fireball necklace?
Fixer upper.
Fixer. Yeah.
Fireball him into unconsciousness.
Why am I hearing about this now? Oh, I'm so sorry. I got a text message from my new boss.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 8:30, gym, sitting in cube, ... Sorry, give me a second. And what is this? General idea. I will have to talk to you. Okay.
Scorching Ray is what I'm going to do.
She will actually be physically in. Wow, that's going to be weird. Okay, fine. Sorry. Scorching Ray, you say?
Mm-hmm.
There. Okay. Wait, what's the range on Scorching Ray?
120.
Oh, okay, marvelous. So that's a
Roll
hit.
damage now? Okay.
Yes, I would go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Ta-da!
You stand right where you are, take careful aim on him, fire off your first Scorching Ray, it hits him in the back, and that is enough to send him to the ground. He's smoking a little bit. It looks like there might be a small fire, but he's down and unconscious for the moment. The party starts to struggle to make it through the molded earth that Tazarath has laid down and not dispelled. And
Good job,
Well-
Tazara.
Well, now that I have the chance to do so, I will dispel it. Thank you.
thank you for giving me the opportunity. Yeah, I just wanted to tease you a little bit, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just pull open. I think I want to do this, and then I'm gonna go back.
I think this is the second fight I haven't done a damn thing in.
Well,
You're good at it.
You were like second to last on the initiative order.
Also, I'm going to point out that if we had not had that rough terrain, he would have escaped because
Yeah,
he would have
exactly.
rounded that corner and would be fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the space of rough terrain that you created was big enough that he had no choice.
MVP, Chris. MVP.
So
For pushing around a bunch of dirt.
Let's welcome the new member of our party, Dirt Donkey.
So you guys are excited that Snake reports that he's able to down Droki, and right at that moment you hear some movement from the other side of the door. Someone says, "Quick, go check what that was," and you can hear footsteps moving towards the door. What will you do? No, this requires like actual quick action. I need something like real quick here. Very little time for thinking. Someone's coming to the door.
Did Snake get to Droki at least?
Well, he cast from where he was. There was no time.
Well, Droki's in the midst of death saves, I would say, but
Okay.
somebody's got to get over there. Somebody fast. In other words, not me.
That's one option. Yes. Any other thoughts?
Oh, I could cast Silent Image and have a knight just standing there at the door.
A knight?
Yes.
No, have Droki do it. Have Droki at the door.
Well, he won't be able to talk, but sure, we can do that too.
Well, no, we'll
Hold
do
on
a weekend at Bernie's thing.
Wait. First of all, yes, it's fine that you have Droki at the door, but they're still going to see all of you. Like, they'll just see you through, when they open the door. So, like, Droki will be there, sure, but they're gonna be like, who the fuck are these people? So.
Should we just wave at him?
I mean, yeah.
We'll throw Droki at them.
Should we try to block the door?
Well, the door opens inward, so good luck with that.
You're not helping.
I know, I'm not trying to.
I mean, there's not much we can do. Like
5, 4,
I'm getting my fireball ready.
3.
Yeah, let's ready some things.
I'm feeling homicidal anyway, so who gives a shit?
Let's throw
Yeah.
Fargus at him.
Okay. 1. So I guess at this point, do I want to use this?
Uh,
I don't think I need to use this. Okay, I'm gonna close that up. Sorry, what?
What?
I thought you said something.
So did I.
Oh. I was half thinking about things. Then it's me, so that's as far as I get.
Gotcha. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna go like. Actually, you know what? Hold on, I want to check one more thing. Oh, it has normal squares. This is marvelous. But it doesn't show the rest of this, so maybe that doesn't work after all. Sorry. Oh, that's cute. They actually put them on the proper map for once. Okay, well, we're gonna relocate those guys to here.
Yeah.
Here, and here, and then we're gonna. Whoop. Whee!
Did they eat the mushroom?
No, actually, they did not eat
Oh,
the mushrooms.
that was
Oh,
fit.
that's weird. Okay, well, I'm just gonna hope nobody else can see that. So
Are these the gray dwarves?
the door opens, and you can smell some sort of rot suddenly, like just flow out of the door. And for those of us from Pennsylvania, I think you're very familiar with this particular smell of rot. There's 3 Daragar, gray dwarves, that open the door, and they seem very confused. What? Who the hell are you people? What kind of circus is this? How did you get down here?
Throw the fire. No time for talking.
You would have potentially the upper hand.
You know what? Well, here's the thing. We don't know if they're hostile.
Yeah,
we're
we're
still
still-
actually asking questions. Yeah.
We got lost.
Well, I'll say. How did you even? How did you even find your way down? Wait a minute. Who sent you?
No one sent us. We were following this This Durgar stole our stuff, and we were looking around.
Darrow.
No, Darrow.
Yeah.
Darrow.
Yeah.
This Darrow stole our stuff, and we were looking around, and we ended up into this stupid cave, and we have no idea where we are. Do you know how we can get out of here?
The Daragar's eyes narrow. You know, friend, one might generally consider that if a Darrow makes off with your stuff, that it's not worth a gut to your side to track it down. Maybe you should find your own way out right about now. And he starts to stroke his weapon handle.
He's choosing to be extremely unhelpful, isn't he?
Are you hitting on me?
Hitting
I don't understand your different customs, but I have to admit, I'm confused.
You're the size of my forearm. How could I be hitting on you? How would that even work? Wait a minute, you're distracting me. They're intruders! Combat starts. Roll some initiatives.
Okay.
Damn it.
What are you sighing about?
I wanted to be able to fireball them.
Oh.
You still could, right?
Not that low in the order.
Oh.
Well, they're much larger than us, though. So,
Actually, is initiative a ability roll?
Is initiative an ability roll? No. Technically, it is its own thing.
Okay, never mind then. I can't affect it.
No.
we might need to embiggen to fight these guys.
You mean enlarge? Oh, yeah, with the mushrooms, yeah.
I'm going to keep using that word. It's a perfectly cromulent word.
If we eat Embiggen twice, do we get larger than them?
You don't know. Do you want to figure that out in the middle of combat?
Why not? Then I could just step on them. I have no idea.
Harry, Larry, Squig.
Okay, so now we've rolled all of our initiatives. Tristan, once again, you are at the top of the initiative. It's almost as if a high dexterity helps with that.
Wait, why are there 3, but there's 4 icons?
I don't know. Oh, I see the problem. That one was left over from when I was trying to create them in the first place. There we go. Sorry about that.
Should have just remained ignorant. Scorching Ray.
Okay, help me out here. Which one of these 3 are you targeting? Or are you targeting all 3? Are you focusing your fire? What are you doing?
I'm gonna focus fire. Do any of them look specifically magical, or do they all just look gross and crunchy?
Gross and crunchy? Hold on just a second. Okay. Yeah, they all just look gross and crunchy.
Okay, then Harry it is. Whoever it is who spurned my advances.
It was Harry.
Then Harry.
Your looks are as bad as your aim.
Jesus!
The attitude on him.
So Harry was Matrix level dodging right there until the end, and then Destiny caught up to him. Holy shit! It's almost maximum damage. Yeah. He dodges, prepared for your assault, and he catches a pretty bad scorch right to the chest. Bab, hey Bab, Bab, it's your turn.
Hey.
Get him, Bab.
I'm trying to decide what spell I should use. How do you target someone?
You tell me
Can
who
I-
you want to target, and I'll take care of it. I mean, there's two options.
You could roll on their head too.
Yeah, you
Well,
can drop the dice directly on top of the person you're trying to target.
Well, I missed, so.
That also works. Yep. So a firebolt goes wide. Wait a minute. Whoa. What did I? Nope. Everything's fine. Ront. Oh, Ront. He makes it up to there. Ront did double move in order to get as far as he could.
He's a good lad.
He's not a fast one.
Spider bait. He does the same thing. He wasn't going to be able to attack him there anyways. Snake!
All the cool kids fire scorching rays. So
I should get that spell.
yeah. So
the entire party just lancing scorching just a barrage.
Just a disco rave of scorching rays.
Indeed.
So I'm going to target Harry twice, I guess, and then I'll leave one for. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic.
Try dropping the dice on the people that you want and see if it works on Harry. And
Okay.
It worked for me.
Yeah.
Oh, with a scorching ray. Never mind.
well, the other thing is that if you're having trouble targeting them, use the mouse wheel and push it away from you to zoom in further, and they should enlarge enough that it will be easier to target them.
Just not while you're over top of somebody and spin them around.
Yeah.
Oh, great roll.
The first one is a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, the second one is also a miss.
There we go.
All right. Well, that's weird that you both managed to get the exact same number, but okay, we'll go with it. Computer really likes 26. What can you do?
Wow, 5 damage for a second level spell.
And technically, you're only 1 point less than the average damage for the spell, so it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
But regardless, that's your 5 points. So next in the initiative order is going to be Fargus. So for Fargus, what will I have him do?
He should probably try to retrieve the boots off of Droki.
Yeah, he can't make it that far. He's just going to get kind of... I'm going to put him here because there's no place to represent him. He's just going to dash forward. So then it's Sareth. Sareth is going to do the same nonsense. And then it is Harry. Okay. Well, that's odd. It doesn't say. Give me a second. I gotta check the monster manual on something. There it is. 1 minute. It just really doesn't say. How could they possibly have overlooked that? Okay, well, I'm just gonna go with the tactics as written, and we'll make this thing work. Harry moves to here. Which way is up on him? There it is. And then Harry grows. In an instant, the Darrogar doubles in size and then turns and swing. I gotta move him just a little bit.
Did he eat a mushroom?
No, he in fact did not eat a mushroom.
Jerk.
He swings his war pick at Snake. Unfortunately, Snake is far too small, and the sudden growth causes him to, lose track of his target. So it is an automatic miss. Next up, Larry charges up here. Snake happens to be in the front line, so he also is going to attempt to use his... Whoa, that's the damage, not the... He just stabbed himself. Let me take
Good job, Larry. We like that one.
He manages to swing his war pick and hit Snake this time. Damage on Snake. Oof. So that's Larry. Larry charges up and manages to hit Snake with a war pick, and then Squiggle vanishes.
What?
Because of course he does. Friggin'
He shrunk.
Wait a minute. That's Squiggle. I grabbed the wrong person. Let me rearrange this real quick. There's Larry. Here's Squiggle, and Squiggle vanishes.
Oof.
And then move him to like that. Cool. So now that that's happened, Tazarath.
Why don't you throw some dirt on him? Sorry.
So how quickly can embiggening happen? Like, is that a standard action or?
It seems to be a bonus action here in game terms.
I believe I will embiggen and then use my great sword again.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I misunderstood your question. I thought you were talking about the Grey Dwarves. Using the mushroom is a standard action.
In that case, I'll hack his ankles with my great sword.
I'm sorry. You mean your great toothpick?
I could shoot a firebolt, I guess, but
pick something.
What are you in a hurry for?
Hell with it. No.
You know what Fixer Upper is going to do, right? He's just going to fireball.
In that case, I won't melee.
Should we all move back?
It is firebolt versus Harry.
Well done.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Excellent. You managed to knock him into bleeding. We've moved now to the Fixer Upper. who is a good 25, 50, about 75 feet away.
Okay. A fireball has a range of 150.
How many do you have?
3 left.
I would just use the one.
Yeah, I'm only going to use one.
Let me just draw a little circle for you here.
I just want to try. Hopefully, it'd be nice to get the invisible one, but we won't really know.
Well, you won't, because he can move after being invisible.
Sure.
So you can set it up like this so that it will catch Harry and Larry and no one else, including Snake, for example.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so give me just a second. I'm going to target Harry, Larry, and you are good to go.
So I just cast now. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to move that over here in case we need it again. Okay.
Nice
roll your
rolls.
damage. Yeah, very nice. Like that Matrix level dodging. Okay, 14 and 14. Excellent.
It's incredible that a giant dwarf can dodge a fireball. But all right.
Yeah, don't make me narrate that. So moving on, the fixer-upper has flicked a bead of from his necklace of fireballs, causing a massive explosion, consuming the 2 dark dwarves, gray dwarves. Melrath, show them how it's done.
I'll move up and shoot Harry.
Shoot him?
Yes, with my crossbow of missing.
Ah, okay.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yes, in fact, it is a crossbow of missing. Marvelous.
Pew pew.
Suddenly, from out of nowhere.
Oh, fucking squiggle.
Nope, it's not Squiggle. Another gray dwarf pops into existence, having tossed an acid vial at Snake, which fortunately for Snake managed to miss, otherwise it might have been horribly disfiguring. Tristan, you're up.
I have one level 2 spell slot left, so might as well keep doing it.
Okay. Roll each of your hits individually because you can change targets in the midst of casting a spell. Okay.
Shall I roll damage?
Yes. Okay. Well done. Did you intend to hit? Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, it says you did an attack against Larry, but then the damage was dealt to Harry. Did you intend to hit Harry with the damage?
Yeah, I was trying to.
Okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. Harry goes down. He bursts into flames and rolls around for a moment, going, "Ah!" and then dies.
And then Bupito comes back as a ghost.
Then, nope, I miss Larry.
Sad but true. Bob, it's your turn, Bob.
So, we already all ate the mushrooms to get the same size as these dwarves, right?
No, but that
shit.
hasn't been relevant yet.
We're still tiny.
Well, I wanted to eat a mushroom twice and see if I could grow bigger.
Well, you can do it with 1 standard action on this turn and 1 standard action on the next turn.
I'm gonna do it 2. Alright. I have 1 spell slot left. 2, 3.
Oh, do you need me to help with targeting anything, or have you got it?
Nope. This
He
always
saves
confuses me. So
Jeez.
a save
He
means
saved. Yeah.
don't hit him.
Yeah. I wish they could be a little more consistent with it, but I'm not going to gripe too much.
Oh wait, what does a save mean? On a failed save, you always.
You do more damage, I believe it is. Wait, what's the spell effect?
3d8 psychic on a failed save, half as much.
Yeah. So he's just going to take half damage.
Okay, that confuses me too.
Understandable.
Cool.
Okay,
6
so
damage.
that's good though. You managed to knock him in. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm so sorry. I misread that. It just said wounded. Wait, who did you do the damage to?
The one who just popped up. Because I thought it would do
He's
more
called
damage.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was to Larry. I didn't see the damage calculating. I got worried. Nope, you're fine. So Ront is gonna heave his ass all the way up to here so that he's adjacent to Larry, and then Ront got to use a special ability. Yeah, he attacks Larry with his great axe, naturally hitting a 20,
He's a
and
beast.
that great axe, ooh, 10 points of damage, like right up there with the spellcasters for the damage. So yeah, he swings, and as soon as he does, Larry is at half health, or at least around half health, bloodied. Spider Bite. Spider Bite is going to move just a little bit further forward, and then he's going to use a short bow. I've got your back, Ront. Twang. It misses. Impacts the door, and Spider Bite pretends that it wasn't him. And Snake, you're up. You're in melee range.
You need to do more of that, Alex.
Oh, more of the embarrassing combat stuff? Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Will do. Got anything for melee?
Do I provoke opportunity of attack if I try to cast Blade Ward?
No. No, you don't.
I will do that then.
Okay. So Blade Ward, if I remember correctly, gives you resistance to standard attacks, like bludgeoning,
Yeah.
piercing, slashing, all that.
Correct.
Okay, marvelous. So you've got Blade Ward up. Are you going to try to move away?
Well, then I would. Yeah, I guess it's worth the opportunity. Sure.
Okay. Then let's see what you got here. Larry. Sorry. Let's see here. He's going to use this war pick. Oh, wow.
Okay.
How do I do half damage with this? I think I'm just going to have to adjust it manually. That's fine. Drop that right there.
Jesus.
So the 7 will be reduced.
Oh, okay. That wasn't reduced.
Oops. Minus 7, 9, 13. Yeah, there you go. That was not reduced. Right. So, you're able to move out of the way. I'm not quite sure. I think I see you now. Next up, Fargus Rumblefoot. From this distance, he decides... Oh, I've had enough of invisible fools. Tomorrow, apparently. He fires off his crossbow, attempting to strike at the now visible Theragar, and misses. Sereth pretties up his chapstick and charges in for... actually, you know what? I think I'm going to leave him back just a little bit, and I will use Fairy Fire against the guy that threw the vial. Unfortunately, he succeeds. What are you laughing about?
It's just they roll so well.
I know.
Their saves.
Yeah, it's almost as if there's some sort of resistance in effect. Moving on, Larry. Larry is terrified of Ront, so the only solution to a crazed orc is to make yourself very big and stomp his face in. So he attempts to hit Ront.
Rude.
Succeeds. Holy shit!
No, Ront, no!
Ront takes a fair amount of damage. He's 1 hit point away from going unconscious. The giant gray dwarf's giant pickaxe does significantly more damage when it hits while he's giant. Because the pickaxe itself is giant. Moving on. Squiggle! Squiggle. Squiggle. What will Squiggle do? Aha!
I was going to try and finish off Ront.
And succeed. So at this point, Squiggle pops into existence from up there. I'm going to remove his invisibility. There we go. And he had scurried up the tunnel and had flung a javelin into Ront's back.
Maybe we should have left that dirt there.
And then Ront says, as he falls, "Bloody dwarves!" And he passes out. Tazarath, avenge your fallen comrade Ront.
I'm going to avenge him by... Let's see, I'm going to move slightly this way.
Uh-huh.
You want to get in fireball range? Okay.
Oh, another one's coming. All right.
I don't know. I mean, fireball range for Larry and...
Now we got 4
unnamed
targets.
Little... Well, no, now we got... But, anywho, I got Chromatic Orb. I'm going to use the acid to my advantage against...
Okay.
God damn it.
Not this time. Sorry, Tazarath.
And
the
not
picture
today,
is
apparently.
Up now, and I guess that Fireball has your name on it. The Fireball says Tazarath as it flies through the air.
Tazarath.
Okay, so according to this, so you have a slight potential problem, which
Yeah.
is that if you truly want to, actually, I don't think that you can get all 3 of the Grey Dwarves. Yeah, there's no way that you can actually get all 3 of them based on the radius of this thing. Now the real question is, do you want the radius to include Ront? Because we could move it like this, for example.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Tazarath, you got lucky, buddy. You got
I really wanted to actually hit him, but it's kind of hard to justify it.
Yeah, I mean, Ront's just the powerhouse of this group. You can't possibly sacrifice
Well, no. Ront's way more important than Tazarath.
Dear diary.
Okay, so Larry and unidentified creature, go. Okay, so
Nice.
it looks like the unidentified creature failed, which could turn into a lot of damage. Go ahead and let's see what you manage.
They both...
Oh, they did both fail. Holy shit. So, wait, who... Larry goes down, and unidentified creature goes from fine to somewhere below half hit points in a single volley.
Yay.
Very well done. Melrath, can you clean up the battlefield?
No, I'll shoot Mr. Unidentified Creature.
Apparently you will.
Nice.
You managed to get him even further down. He's bleeding heavily. He's scorched. He's got some fires to put out. It's his turn now.
And he turns invisible.
God damn it! Stop reading my sheets. Yes, he turns invisible. So let me go like this. Bloop.
Well, we can track him from the bleeding.
Also, the scorched footprints he's now leaving behind. He's gone through the door, headed back the way he came. Top of the round, Tristan.
1 second.
Sorry, let me also remove Larry from the battlefield so that he gets confused.
Okay, so Tristan is going to move over here. Going to look Squiggle in the eye. And ask, why did the chicken cross the road?
What's a chicken?
Well, it doesn't matter. Tasha's hideous laughter means he's gonna maybe find it funny anyway.
Go for it.
Could you potentially target him?
Yeah, hold on a second. You're set. He fails. He finds it hilarious. He has no idea why, but he can't stop laughing. Here's what I need you to do. Can you grab the effect from the spell and drop it on his token on the battlefield? If not, I
How do I
will.
do that?
So let me see here. Tasha uncontrollable hitting his laughter. See where it says effect and it has that person? It's literally to the left of effect.
Done.
Marvelous. Prone, incapacitated, unable to stand up. Note, save on the end of the round, and damage. Cool. That is actually a very good note. Bob!
Well, I can't do much.
You would have to move forward to do so. You could, for example, move to about here and be fine.
What's the crossbow range?
You're in crossbow range.
Okay. That's about all I got, besides a cantrip.
Okay. Cantrip range is also longer, by the way.
Yeah. I haven't been having luck with those. Is there... Oh, I see. I thought there was another one.
Just so you know, if you fire at Squiggle, his effect will end.
What effect?
He has been knocked incapacitated by Tasha's uncontrollable hideous laughter. He is currently rolling around on the floor laughing. He cannot stop himself. In the event that you damage him, you will stop him from laughing and he will be able to act normally. At present, if you attempt to attack him, you will have advantage on the attack because he is unable to defend himself. So if you have something that does a lot of damage, that might be something to do because I believe you have advantage on attack rolls.
Actually, so when it takes damage, it just has to make another wisdom saving throw, but it does it at advantage.
Oh, my misunderstanding. But still, I believe that due to incapacitated, you still get advantage on any attack rolls to hit him.
Stab him in the balls.
Is anyone going to heal Ront during their turn?
Yes.
That's nice.
You didn't sound very enthusiastic about that.
Well, it's a waste of my turn, but yes.
I mean, I could do spare the dying on him.
It's okay. Why don't you go grab the boots? They're still way up there. You could run towards that if you want to do something.
Probably wouldn't make it. I mean, I can.
Well, you can get a lot closer.
He would have to get past Squiggle.
But he's laughing, right?
Fucking
Oh,
Squiggle.
that's true. That's true.
Oh, but didn't you say he just has to make another wisdom roll?
Well,
Only if
yeah,
he's attacked.
but you running by him wouldn't trigger that. He would, he has to make that at the end of his turn or when he's attacked. And...
Oh, oops.
Oh, well, that's fine because the effect is still on him. I mean,
I missed anyway.
Yeah, missing him is not a bad thing.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That was disadvantage. Why would he have?
Oh, because he's prone. It actually should have evened out to be just regular attack, but ranged attacks against creatures on the ground are made at disadvantage. But you had advantage because he was incapacitated, so it's just a normal die roll. Moving on.
Either way, I missed.
So Ront rolled a 5 for his death saving throw. Let me check his stats real quick because I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit! I didn't know he was after me.
That was 8. Yeah, sorry. It's modified to 8. So Ront has a death mark against him. If he gets 2 more, he dies. Spiderbait is up. Spiderbait moves into position, takes careful aim, and almost certainly hilariously misses like the goblin that he is. Wow. Spiderbait was inspired. Fucking inspired. How do I make him save?
I guess I can just roll the thing again.
I think I got it. Oh, he fails. Okay, cool. So Spiderbait has done some damage. He fails to find that anything but hilarious. Snake, you are up.
I guess, I'll just fire Firebolt.
You gonna move first?
Oh no, I'm not going to do anything.
Oh, okay. Pass turn. Next up is Fargus Rumblefoot.
I moved a little bit.
Fargus is going to move up to, I don't know, there, and then he is going to attempt. I'm going to give him advantage on this so it properly calculates for once. Excuse me. He fires off at the squiggle. Misses. Sareth puckers up, runs around the corner, and uses.
Hello, beautiful.
Fancy meeting you here. You're gorgeous when you laugh. He uses his short sword. Ha!
Wow.
You really
Come here,
did stab.
Yeah, he stabbed the fuck out of him. Well done, Sareth. You've actually hit something for once. So, moving right along. Next up is Squiggle himself. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me make sure Squiggle rolls. Wisdom. Roll it. Yeah, he does not succeed. Squiggle continues to laugh uncontrollably, as per the spell. Tazarath!
Since he's too busy laughing, great sword him.
Go for it.
Do. Nice.
Well done, well done. Oh, shit. Yeah. So you managed to get him into bloodied values with a massive gash across his side. He finally rolls something. That was enough to shake him out of it. He gets a 16, which I'm pretty sure beats Will's save.
Let me check.
Actually, why is it not under actions? No,
Yep, the DC is a 14.
okay. So, 16 beats that, so he finally has that effect removed. There. And Tazarath
Now
does
it's
a bunch of damage. Well done.
and now it's everybody else's turn
Before what?
before
Squiggle.
Fixer-upper.
Spare the dying on Runt.
Okay. Melrath.
I'm going to shoot Squiggle.
Okay. Give yourself advantage before you fire.
Wait, advantage? Isn't he, like, standing up now?
No.
Nope, he's still prone.
Well done. Okay. So that kind of middling damage, but okay. Moving right along. Unidentified creature. Let me check something on this.
Wait, what?
The guy that turned invisible and ran back through the door.
Oh,
Let me check something real quick. It seems that he is pressing deeper. I'm going to just draw. You can see a trail of blood leading in this direction. Is that a good enough arrow that you guys can see it?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Perfect. And then switch back to mask mode. Moving on. Back to the top of the round. Tristan.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so is one of my allies within 5 feet of the creature?
Yes, Tazarath.
no, I'm way up at the front.
Wait, I'm sorry. The creature in question is Squiggle. You
Correct.
Oh, okay.
used your greatsword against him. If you are
Oh,
not
okay.
within 5 feet of him, you never hit him in the first place.
Okay, I thought you meant within 5 feet of Tristan.
No, he means within 5 feet of his target.
Okay, that's
Actually,
fine.
you know what? You guys got this. I'm going to use the dash action and just move towards the unconscious eared thingy.
Oh, you mean the Darrow?
Yes.
Droki.
Okay. Here, hold on a second. I'll move you. I think you're going to end up Nope, that's Ron. Just move him aside for a second. You're gonna end up right about there. That's an approximation. It's kind of hard to place people accordingly. Moving on.
Will, I'll fight you for the boots.
Bob!
It's not about the boots. It's about preventing him from running. If we all manage to screw this up.
I've been
Oh.
keeping track of his death saves, by the way.
But he gets spared.
Droki?
Oh, no, Droki's death saves.
Ron's definitely stable, right?
Ront is stable.
Okay.
You are currently targeting Squiggle.
Wow. Oh, fuck, I'm too close.
Yeah, sadly. So, that's a mess. Next up is Ront. He's unconscious, makes no more death saving throws. Spider bait. To attempt to... Whoop, that's the wrong... Okay. There we go. Squiggle. Wow! Wow! So he fires off an arrow, sticks it right into Squiggle's side. Merciless spider bait. Snake, you're up.
I will firebolt by moving close enough.
Are you going to cast it?
Yes, just looking for it.
Oh, you know what? Let me just target you so that you don't have to deal with finding him on the battlefield. You're set.
Lovely.
Ah, shame. He is a wily little bastard. He keeps managing to squiggle around it. Fargus. Fargus, show him how it's done.
See, every time you say that, somebody shows how failure is done. Oh.
Yeah, there's always one person bucking against trends. Now, at this point, let me do this to there. He has an ally within the appropriate distance, so he has sneak attack on the roll. And he kills him outright. That sneak attack was a brutal attack from a distance. Crossbow bolt sails across the battlefield, impacts him. He dies a hideous death.
Excellent.
So, combat has been ended. It is currently 9 p.m. Would you guys like to clean up a little bit at the end of battle here and see what it is you find, or would you like to deal with that next time?
I want to make sure that that little asshole is not running away from us before we end the session.
Oh, he's not. I'll just tell you that right now.
Okay.
So we're all good then?
Okay.
Okay. Then for anybody who might be watching, there will be no game next week as I will be away. But we will pick up the Monday after that. And thank you guys so much for playing.